You just gotta be surrounded by what you're doing, cautious around you. So it's just gotta look over your shoulder sometimes, just to be cautious sometimes. That's all.
I know it's a serious event, but there is a game. As a player, how tough would that be to be ready to play and then find out the game's postponed the day of the game and have it moved?
I mean, for us, we didn't really know what was gonna happen. So like, what Sunday night? I think we got like the message. Everybody told us what was going on. But it don't really make a difference to me what day it is. I'm just used to Sundays now, so but it doesn't really matter what day it is.
You know the game is Saturday.
Say it again?
You know the game is Saturday.
Yes, yeah.
You ready for the cold?
I got adjusted today for it. It's supposed to be a little colder than this, but we ain't been outside the past couple of weeks.
Troy was saying when you were drafted that when they were talking to you before the draft, that you weren't being picked to be average. You were picked at number 5. You were going to be a franchise-changing receiver. Do you remember that conversation? And do you feel like it come through on that?
What Troy are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't remember everything, man. It was that whole process was a lot. I'm not gonna lie, like that was a long process for me. But I do remember just him just showing me some of the plays and trying to break it down to me, with Joe still being quarterback. So I think he was just, what I remember the most was just him getting me down on the plays as early as possible, even when I wasn't picked yet. He just throwing like little bits of plays at me.
Do you think you have become a franchise pick?
Yes, I would say so, yes.
In what way? Do you think just your style or your production?
Both. You gotta have style to be productive,
But you kind of bring something a little different to the position. I mean,
What, the dog?
No, I mean that's too. But I mean, just kind of you play it. You play it like not a lot of guys play. You play it like a running back.
I've heard that before. I think you tell me that the most, though.
Yeah, I don't think you agree. But how are you unique? Do you think? How are you unique? You watch this stuff.
Yeah.
How do you think you're unique?
I say my run after catch is pretty, the most dynamic thing that I do, and just making the first guy miss,
What is the one thing a couple of things you work on, Jamar, to be that guy to run after the catch? Is it weight training? Is it mechanics, technique? What makes you the best receiver in the NFL run after catch?
Run after catch is not something you can really practice, all season I try to do like balance work, make sure, keep my balance. Try to do as much reaction things as possible, because that's what football is. A lot of stuff is just reactions and quick instincts. But and then just catching for real, and just working on like my hammer step and controlling like my feet better. Those are like really the only things that I do the most.
Do you take more pride in being hard to catch after the catch or hard to bring down?
Hard to bring down? That's a great question. I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably say hard to bring down. It's a good one. I'm not gonna lie.
Jamar, to go back.
That's a good one.
To go back to what Butch was asking.
That's a good one.
I remember on your Zoom call when you were drafted by the Bengals, talking about, I'm paraphrasing, you said you're coming for all the records. Do you remember saying that? Because that's becoming a reality now for you already.
Yeah, I remember saying it. I meant everything I said. It's just a mindset I wanted to come in and bring my aggressive mindset to and just be competitive, and help everyone around me be competitive.
Is there any part of you that still is like, wow, like it happened already? I mean, you're still a young guy. Are you surprised by any of it?
No, not really. I worked hard to get here, sacrificed a lot to get here. So this is what I wanted to happen. This is my wish.
Joe said yesterday your two careers are always going to be tied forever. Do you agree with that? I mean, what's your view of that? You know, you guys come together.
Nah, it's a fact. I can say that, I could agree with that. Especially since we've been together. I'm starting to lose count now.
Yeah.
Like 6 years now, 7 years now. So we only gonna get better from here, man. There's only more room for us to grow. More room for me to grow as a receiver, and no other parts in the playbook, and just for him to be an overall better quarterback.
Have you thought about the company you'll keep if you end up getting to secure that Triple Crown, like the list of names and that? Like, how much have you thought about kind of being in that echelon?
I only thought about it one time, and that was like the week of the Chargers game. That's why I did the celebration, the Steve Smith celebration. But other than that, I don't think about it.
So why that week? Why did that come up?
I don't know. It was just on my mind that week, I guess. I don't know.
Are you aware going into this game what you need to do to get it? Like how many catches you need?
For the Triple Crown? You got to get catches for the Triple Crown?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
catches.
Well, I thought you just got to be first in all 3 categories.
Yeah, the catches is
Yeah,
one of
catches is
them.
one of them.
Catches.
Well, who's in front of me?
yards, and TDs.
I don't think it was a front.
Oh, okay.
You got an 8 catch lead over. You got an 8 catch lead.
Oh, well, nah. I just need to make sure I catch everything,
You got a number in mind. You got a number in mind.
And everything come my way, I got to, even the ones that's contested, I just need to make the play.
How do you feel like the weather might impact y'all's passing game? I mean, it's going to be really cold. How do you feel like that's going to impact, especially with how physical that defense is?
We played in a lot of cold games. I played in a couple since I've been here now. We usually play good when it's cold outside, I'm not gonna lie. So it'll be fun and interesting to see what'll happen.
Are you excited for the kind of the stakes and prime time, AFC North on the road with everything on the line? I mean, are you excited for the stakes of this kind of game, like the magnitude of it?
It's another game to me, for real. It's just most important game because it's the next game up.
I know
What
you
was
guys
cold?
need help, but does it have a playoff feel to it at all?
Say it again.
I know you guys need help if you want to make the postseason, but does it have a playoff feel at all, or do you need this game?
I'm not really sure. Like it doesn't feel 100% like it's a playoff. So I'm just been telling the guys, let's just focus on this game instead of worrying about what's not in our control right now. So we got to get this win first.
Do you prefer that you guys are playing before the help you need?
I don't really care. Like, that's out of my control. Like, I don't really care for real.
Jamar, this would also be out of your control, but is it frustrating to get to this point? You guys are rolling now, and part of the equation to get into the playoffs is, like you said, out of your control. How frustrating is that?
I wouldn't say it's frustrating. I would just say it's more like a disappointment. We didn't really achieve what we wanted to this year, so I'm more disappointed in that than the other thing.
Have you thought about some of those moments? Like when you're just, I know you guys are focused on the task at hand here, right? But I'm just wondering if you've thought about some of those moments, some of those games that got away, the close ones, that could have made the circumstances of this weekend different.
We talk about them, but like that's about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could talk about them, and then that's it. That's all you could do.
What was colder, New England or
New England. New England.
What about that box you get into?
The box?
Well, whatever that cold thing you get into.
Oh, you got me right there. The cryo chamber.
Yeah, whatever.
The cryo is pretty cold. It's way colder. Yeah, that was a good
I
one.
mean, is that going to help you at all?
I haven't did it in 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks since I did it. Maybe I should do it again, huh?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just used to the cold a little bit.
See, but New England was the coldest game you ever played in high school, college.
By far. I
It's not
couldn't.
going to be colder or as cold.
It's negative. This game. We was
No,
negative.
I said it's going to be. It's going to be about.
About that?
About that degree.
Yeah, below. It's like 10 under from today, right? A little bit.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Who do you consider to be the greatest receivers of all time?
Ooh. I'm gonna just give you 2. Okay. Jerry and Randy.
Why those two?
I had this debate with my dad all the time about Jerry Rice, and he made me watch his tape one day of just him getting in and out of routes on the same route every time. But he had one of the best feats in the game, and you know, I didn't even realize he low-key went through the same thing I did my rookie year. But I did mine in preseason, you know, and you know I didn't find out that until I started to learn more about him, and I just think that's just, you know, funny how those things work. But Randy just got a good work ethic, you know. You put on his tape, and man, he's almost identical to Jerry, you know.
Do you feel like this year might put you in that, to like eventually put you on that track of being one of the greats to play against?
If not now, then soon, yeah. Yeah.
What's that feel like? To be like, I mean, to try to achieve that goal you've had for so long, you know, like one of the best to do it potentially.
What does it feel like?
Yeah, it's got to get close and knowing that that's a reality.
Feels like another day of me living, you know. I mean, besides you speaking me highly, you know, other than that, it feel like a regular day.
You ever spoken to either Jerry or Randy?
No, I've been talking to Thad a little bit. I know Randy is a little sick right now. But I spoke to Jerry Rice one time at in Oregon at a Nike thing. You know, he came through and had a few words with me.
What do you say?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't say much. We was just talking about football for real. It wasn't like him teaching me nothing, you know.
Have you ever spoken to a receiver that you respect, that maybe retired now, or?
Chad was the closest person that I got a chance to just chop it up with and ask questions and do that stuff with.
What did you learn from him?
How funny he is. I mean, you know.
So what do you think of his feet? Did you ever watch any tape?
He had great feet too. He had really fast feet. I watched his tape a couple times. You know, I even watched. They did like a workout video. I think me and you talked about this before. So you know, I watched that too. So he definitely got one of the best feet as a receiver.
Go back to the past question earlier. How much would it feel like? How tough would it be to swallow not making the playoffs, given how good? And you talk about you were and Joe was, and you know Trey being sack leader, having all these great individual performances and not making the playoffs. How tough would that be to swallow?
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, I'll just be disappointed, man, and just because I know how hard we worked, not just all three of us, but just the whole team in general. You know, we put a lot on the line for this, sacrificed a lot for this. But, you know, some things are just meant to be, you know. Maybe it'll help us next year, you know. We need to know this feeling so we don't feel it again, you know.
You're hoping to get your fifth straight win as a team. Why did it take this long?
I don't know. We found a way to finish now, I think, you know. I think that's what it is. We finding ways to finish. Defense have been making tremendous amount of plays these past 5 weeks. So, you know, offense just continue to find a way to finish.
Do you have a different level of confidence now in this team if it's a close game late that you guys are going to finish going forward?
No, that's always the same confidence, man. I feel like the same team. We just didn't finish the right way, you know, like the last game, man. We had opportunities to finish. We should have did it a lot earlier and faster, but you know, we still did it. Found a way.
Okay, but you guys talked at all about, you know, you guys haven't beat Baltimore or Pittsburgh in like 2 years, since 22. You know, have you guys talked about that at all, or is that just...
No. Is that true, though?
Yeah.
I still know. Fun fact.
Not that fun.
Are there any challenges specific to the Pittsburgh defense that you face?
They up front's crazy. I mean, I feel like as a receiver, we're going against the front more than the DBs just because they rush faster, you know? So that's about it.
How does that change what you have to do?
I got to be a lot more faster. You know, I got to be quicker thinking. I got to be expecting Joe to be earlier. So it's all like a half a second to a second difference on timing.
I don't know if we'll get a chance to talk to you again after the game. What do you think needs to happen for this team to start winning more games in September so you guys aren't constantly fighting out of an 0-2, 0-3 hole so that you guys could potentially be one of the teams that's you know, 1, 2, or 3 seed hosting a playoff game instead of always trying to just squeak into that last position?
Mm-hmm. I feel like we got to start faster, you know. By faster start, I mean just starting off the game faster, you know, getting on the defense faster, getting the defense on the offense faster. You know, jumping on top of the team early as possible, making plays early as possible, and then keeping the lead and then controlling the lead. I think that's something we need to start doing and just learning how to control it better.
People will argue, Jamar, that it's training camp that needs to be like a different philosophy, but we didn't practice really all that much during training camp, and you're on pace to have one of the best seasons in NFL history. Is it a training camp thing? Is it a mindset thing? Where does that come from?
That's a good question. I can't really put my finger on it for real, you know. I don't know, man.
Not everyone's you.
Yeah, you said that, not me.
Jamar, as an Warriors guy, what was your reaction to the news from last night?
I found out this morning, but it's just sad that, you know, that's the stuff that goes on around, and not just New Orleans, but all over the world. So, you know, I pray for those 10 people, their families, the police officers, and everybody else who was involved.